Georgia's running. Georgia, I'm starting because I'm excited too. I'm not as excited as Mike Bobo and Kirby Smart. They seem to be very energetic, Ryan, about this team. It's a young team. They are young, but I'll get into some of my stuff in a second here. But this coaching staff seems to be interested, excited. I don't know what the adjective is that you want to use, but they're happy about it.
They're looking forward to this season. They're amped. Now, they always are, right? They're always looking forward to the season.
It seems like they're talking about it a little bit more now.
They're talking about it a little bit more. So they have a little bit of a younger team. They've got a lot of new players when you add in the transfers. And so Kirby has talked about how that kind of keeps you on your feet and you've got to do a little bit more. But kind of this is coming from me and more so just an observation / inference here mixed together. Hypothesis. We'll throw out all the words. I think that part of it stems from being disappointed with last season. I think that they're excited to do better.
I think there's truth to that.
I think that if you're a competitive person or you have any sort of passion, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, it could be anything. I get it sometimes when we do these videos. You want the next thing to be better. And I think that they've evaluated last season. All of these coaches are just repeating about how the standard is the standard and they didn't meet that standard. They want to do that this year. They want to right that wrong. They know what it's like to hold that gold trophy at the end. They had it recently. That's what drives them, right? A lot of things drive them, but they want to win. That's what this is about at the end of the day, is winning and competing. I think that they're excited to try to right the ship.
We've got a great offer for you to watch Georgia while they try to right the ship, Ryan. You're going to get 3 months of Dog Post and the 25 season preview, all for $15. The QR code is on the screen. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. It's a great offer. It's not going to last forever. I'm going to be out of magazines sooner than later. I already had to order it a little bit extra just because I goofed that up, but take advantage now. Take advantage this week. And get an awesome offer. And what do you get? You get insider tidbits. You get what we're hearing. You get to interact with us on our message board. I wanted to say this about the enthusiasm. It's an important time of the year. There's a lot of energy right now. This right now, the dog days of the camp, this is when your team becomes a team, or you're getting ready for October now, believe it or not. Like all the mental things that you're going through, but like this is a young group, man. It's hard to deal with young people, like the mental toughness aspect of it and all of those things. Are they dealing with it the right way in terms of recovery, in terms of their body, and and really mentally more than anything? All these guys can do it, or they wouldn't be at Georgia. The question is, can they recover from their mistakes? Because right now, all you're going to do is make mistakes. Things are not going to be perfect in any game. You're going to double fault and all that stuff. But Mike and Kirby, it seems like they're like, I don't know, we could be pretty good. Like, they're not saying that out loud. They're just saying, I don't know, we just got to figure out this, like, we're a little young. And the 96 team that those guys were both on was not a young team, but it was not as good as it should have been. Last year's team left a lot of stuff on the field. The only time they really kind of got beat was Ole Miss, I would argue. Notre Dame, I don't even know about that. So in 23, they were the best team in the country and didn't win the national championship. So I do wonder how many, they're probably looking around going, man, we've got an opportunity here because this team is good. It's just that they're young. And I mean, and I'll throw it to you right now, but part of this coaching now from here on out in NCAA is you're going to have to deal with change like getting old teams like what Penn State's got right now. Like that's going to be way more abnormal. The 17 team,
it's not going to happen a lot.
The 17 team Kirby had, that's just not. That's
the 21 team.
I mean, you're going to have to win it with misfit parts.
Some of those guys on that 21 team maybe don't wait their turn if that team is today, right? It's a different world. You talked about how you're really becoming a team during fall camp.
Have to.
That's more true now than it's ever been, partially because of the spring portal window.
Yes.
2 players that are probably going to be important pieces in this machine for them, Elo Medozi and Josh McCray, the running back. They just got here. This is new for them. They're now going to practice. They got there over the summer. And they need to mix
There's no
right?
way that the practices that they've gone through at the United States Military Academy or at the University of Illinois are anywhere close to what they're dealing with in
No,
Georgia.
exactly.
No way.
It's all new for the freshmen. They talk about how you got to treat the spring almost as a redshirt year, right? They're
Right.
trying to accelerate the process of getting them ready for the field. I was gonna come up with something clever to say. Accelerate your fashion game.
Hey, listen, yeah, go for it, Ryan. You got it.
Look at that. Look at our faces, man. Look at Matt.
Look at Matt.
Give Matt a close up.
Good, you do it.
Let's look. You don't want that on the back of your shirt? Hey, look, it creeps me out too. Don't worry. It's only at the red zone.
But it's only at the red zone. It's a red zone exclusive. They got a couple other ones that are kind of neat, I have to say. And
it's soft. It's
very nice.
It's comfy. It's got a frocket.
It does have a frocket, which is a front pocket. Make sure you're taking advantage of that shirt. It's a really neat shirt. Be yourself. Be with us. Ride home with us every single day with this shirt on your back. You like that? I didn't even plan that out. It was kind of jumpy. When you support Red Zone by getting shirts like this, it supports us going to Jacksonville, going to Auburn, going to, last year going to Texas twice.
We got to go to the state of Mississippi this year again.
That's true. So, and likely, if these guys get it right with this young team, likely a playoff situation. I did want to say this. I want to make sure that, I've experienced being young and in college and sports. It is not easy. And my college coach just texted me about 10 minutes ago. Dan Schmatzer, legendary coach at Coker. Dan Schmatzer, we had 5 freshman basketball kids. We were going up against the ones. And coach stopped practice one day and he started screaming. Well, coach always screamed. But, he said, I don't want to hear about if you're young anymore. It was early January. He said, I don't want to hear about y'all being young. He said, you're either good young or you're bad young. And right now, you're bad young. Some sort of modified version of that conversation is going on at Georgia, which is like Mike and Kirby and Glenn and whoever else that you want to use by their first name. They need those young guys to grow up. We had time to grow up. These guys don't.
No, they don't. And they're going to need some of these younger players. Look, if someone gets hurt, there's going to be freshmen on the field. I think that you're going to see a few freshmen. They're going to need these guys that are just been on campus for less than a year to play and to get into the rotation. And there's a lot of new on the defense, right? I mean, at safety, there's going to be one safety that either hasn't really started that much or is brand new in the program. Right. It's either going to be Ja'Cory Thomas or it's going to be a transfer at one of those safety spots. They got 3 safety transfers. At wide receiver, they're going to be relying on 2 transfers that now Texas A&M and USC are big-time football programs.
I don't think you worry about Noah Thomas and Branch so much.
Especially not at wide receiver, but I mean, the offensive line, there's going to be at least one guy on the offensive line that hasn't played.
Now, let me just say this, Ryan. Ryan and I worked together for 5.5, 6 years. I mean, how do the coaches, how does James Coley, they got to shrink the time at which they get to know these guys and understand their struggle, for lack of a better term, their why, as people used to say. What is, how do you get Noah Thomas motivated? Are there things going on in his life that I don't know. And they're going to have to shrink the amount of time. And certain things you can't shrink. And you can't get to know a person quicker than you have to. It's like getting in the Big Brother house or something. All of a sudden we're vetoing people. They're trying to bake a cake in the shortest amount of time. You like that? I had a baking reference. I had a Big Brother. Look, it's tricky, but this is a young group. They're excited about it, Ryan. They're seeing something. I'm not just saying that. I think sort of globally, nationally, whatever you want to call it, I think Georgia is being slightly undervalued for where they're at, because if all of the things that were tricky last year suddenly are not, because you have better offensive line play, you have more consistent play from the offense, a lot of the problems get solved quick. And they really address that through the portal, but there's other ways to deal. And if the offensive line is better or stays less injured, they could really take off in a way people aren't suspecting.
Yeah, and from a defensive standpoint, I just don't know that there are a lot of offenses on this schedule that pose huge threats to them.
Ole Miss? Alabama and Texas. If Arch is as good as people think,
then yes,
clearly,
they will. I mean, they can very well come into Athens and win that game.
Yeah, for sure.
There are some people out there that are very high on Ole Miss's quarterback Austin Simmons. I think it's tough when you lose your best receivers and you're going through a lot of transition.
They're just not as good as they were.
But and specifically on defense, they're not going to be as good as they were. They
sure.
lost the core of that defense
sure.
to the NFL. But you look on both sides, and there's no reason why both shouldn't improve.
We'll see, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.